Hey everyone, been a while. Welcome back to AP Crashout. This is, first of all, I actually curated this content. This is the first time in this challenge that I didn't just play a game and then immediately post whatever I did. So, I was having some miserable Overwatch games, y'all, so I hope this one isn't that bad. But, anyways, this shouldn't be a crazy take, but curate your environment for the task at hand, right? If you want to party, have friends that party. If you want to be really academic or you're really interested in a certain niche, like go to a club that supports that. Like if you want a fam or just like people to talk to, like surround yourself with people who are always willing to have a conversation, right? This isn't a crazy thing, but feel like people are really accustomed to high school where you have like one group of friends that you do everything with, and I personally never experienced that. I'm like, you have your sports team for doing sports. I was a triathlete, so three different sports that you got to do, and you have different people for all of those sports. Like cross country, I sucked. I was on JV even in my senior year, and you're around like juniors, sophomores, and some other seniors actually. And those people, were not like the most athletic people. I wouldn't go out and play basketball with these people, but they were fun to talk to, and you go on runs and they'd be chill. And that was the environment, right? They weren't the super competitive, oh, I need to win, I need to be the best type people, but they just like improving and living their life and gradually getting better. And like that was the environment. And then soccer, was varsity, and I sucked still, but I was on varsity. So those people are really driven and they want to get better and they want to improve and they actually, care about the things that they do. And that pushed me to be a much better player, even though I still sucked. And track, I was already good at. Like, I was a good long jumper. I was the best on the team. I got MVP twice. And the whole thing behind that is like now people are glazing me. And you're a track captain, you have leadership. It's a different environment, and people treat you differently because of that environment. So if you want, the glaze and you want to be better than people, like do something that you're really good at and get leadership and lead other people to hopefully be as good as you. And if you want people who party and don't really care about your appearance and they don't judge you and they don't, put that pressure on you to actively better that make you actually think about those things, then, be with a bunch of people who aren't figured out in life. I don't want to say people who are undeclared, but generally, you need to curate your environments to those people. And I personally struggle. There's this very common at Berkeley where people live this double life where you party hard and you also work really hard. Of course, there's 40,000 students, I think, at Berkeley. So this is not everyone, but out of the people that I know that go to Berkeley, they are living this double life, which is very difficult for me, right? I like to surround myself with people who are driven, as in they're very passionate about the things that they do, and they value their bodies and their mind and their health above all. And frankly, that partying and that stuff, they value their social life and their academic life both very intensely, and they want to have it all. And which honestly, those people do. And I don't know how they do it, but that is not. I can't be around that crowd. Like I can't party and then turn around and go to a lab the next morning and do well. And I don't like that constant feeling of stress or dread or coping and saying, hey, I didn't get the grade that I wanted, but it was because I was out partying. Like, I know I want to be doing the best that I can, whether or not I actually achieve great things or not. And to be frank, I can be mad at those people who, do really good and live that double life. And I'm like, oh, I should be more like them. Or I can just stay in my own lane and be like, damn, they're really talented and they work really hard and I can't be like them. And that's just how it is for me. So I surround myself with people who they like more low key activities like pickleball and ping pong and working out, and maybe we go on runs sometimes. Maybe we play a little bit of pickup basketball, and we don't really drink, and we go out and we just go get burgers or something. And those are the people that I can surround myself with that support me and my life goals, which frankly is valuing my body and my cognition. I want to have as functional of a brain as I can, as functional of a body as I can. I want it to last a long time. And I really value the academics and the sports. So I like hanging out with people who do sports, but I can't commit to the club teams. It's a really lot of time. I like people who do the academics, but I don't want to be the stinky CS major either. So you're playing within a lot of different circles who support different things, right? I don't know as that many people who are really athletic and then also are really good with all the CS and technical stuff, but I hope to meet more people like them somewhere down the line, and those could be my do it all friends. But right now, that's not the case, and that's completely normal. And you pick and choose. You can't have it all. You can't do it all. I'm not as good of a CS major as some of the really stinky ones and the ones that are always shut-ins, because I go outside and I hang out with friends, and I have teaching jobs that I do instead of, locking in on my leak code and going to every single talent community and the webinars and all that stuff. I just am not so involved in all of those things as much as I could be if I was solely dedicating myself to that. I am also not a very great athlete. I'm not as good as I'm living with a bunch of rugby players. They're huge and they're very strong, and have very different majors that are not as intensive in terms of course load as me, and you can see that represented in how much time they commit to rugby, and also in how strong they are as not only individuals but also mentally, and being able to handle their stress and the game and all that good stuff. So balance, right? But these are examples of, I could go out and lift with those people, or I can go out and go to a hackathon with my CS people, and I'm in a fam, and I can go out with my fam people and go to Jollibee's at 12 in the morning, and, well, not 12 in the morning, but can go out and eat food really late, and those are different crews, different social circles for conversating, for doing all the sports stuff, and for doing the academic stuff. But if I try to book a study session with the people who do the sports stuff, most of them don't really help me or are productive to my work at all. A lot of them like to listen to music while they study. I like to put in earbuds and be in complete silence when I study and do my work, and we're just different like that. Like, that's nothing against them, and that's nothing against me either, but I want people in my work environment that, match the work that I do. It helps me stay on track. I have like 2 CS buds that I always go to when it is finals time, because we just sit down, we study, we talk, we help each other, right? And I think this is a very straightforward idea. I don't feel like this is a very crazy claim, but surround yourself with people and different social circles that support the things that you are looking for in life, right? Develop your life and your people around the things that you want, and they will help you to achieve those things. And it is also a thing about common values, right? Where you have people who are going to judge you and push you in the direction that you want to be pushed. I feel like people always see judgment as such a bad thing, like, oh, stay in your lane, don't compare yourself to people, but it's there for a reason, and it has a purpose, and it's to reinforce and reaffirm the values that you have, and also to build a mutual basis of respect where people can grow together. Some people need really toxic individuals to push them and make them feel that external pressure to be better individuals. Other people need that positive reinforcement. They want support from their group. When I go to my friends, I'm always there to solve problems. And if I do that same thing with other groups of my friends, they just want to be heard and just want to vent and want to get their thoughts out. And that's completely normal. So surround yourself with people, yes, with similar values to you, and also that support the things that you want in your life, right? Make environments, curate your environments to support you and your life and the things that you want to do. Okay, AP Crashout. Go to college, meet a lot of people. Bye-bye.